Hello, I'm Sarah. I'm an artist with Seint, and today I'm going to talk to you about how you can mix our shades together to get the perfect shade for you. So if you're wondering what I'm talking about, when you get a color match, you'll get matched, and usually you get matched to one main highlight shade. Well, one size doesn't fit all, always, in this particular instance. I am one of those people that once I get past, if I get a certain shade of tan past sandy, I have to mix because we don't have any cooler or neutral shades past sandy. Everything is warm. Not everybody's warm. So I'm going to show you what I do to get my personal perfect shade for summer. And you can do this if you find yourself struggling with our shades in the rest of the year, fall, winter, spring, whatever. You can mix and match shades to get a perfect shade for you. So that is the joy of this makeup. It is makeup artist makeup, which means you can mix, you can match, you can use different products for different things, and it all works out. So I'm going to show you what I do. So first, let me get my hair out of my face, and then we'll get started. I like to start off with my damp perfector sponge and our setting spray. So I use our setting spray as a primer, and I just spray it on my sponge, and then I dab it all over my face. I feel like it helps my makeup stay on longer. It helps it stay in place. It's just really good. So I like to use it. It's really, really good for dry skin. I am more normal right now. So, and it's fine. It works fine for me. So I tap it all over my face, let it dry for a few seconds. Then I always take my tried and true Tatcha Silk Canvas primer, and I only put that where I have larger pores. So that would be like in this area. And I also put it, you see these little lines, my smile lines, I put it in there to kind of fill in, spackle those puppies. So my makeup doesn't get in there. And you really do not need very much of this at all. I only put it in this area. I've had this forever, and it's the smallest one I think you can possibly get. And also I make $0 off of if you buy this. I'm just telling you about it because it's awesome. So now that my face is primed and ready, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about my main highlight shades. So this shade right here is the new Nutmeg. Now it looks like it would be a pretty darn good match for me. It's still a little too warm. So I use that, and then this is Sandy, which is usually when I'm lighter than this is the shade that I tend to use. And then this is going to be a little shocker for you. This is a contour. It's Walnut. It's wonderful for using it as a main highlight shade. So if you find yourself struggling to find a cooler tone, grab Walnut. It's amazing. So I'm just going to show you how I mix. You can mix on the back of your hand. You can mix however you want, but I have found personally it's just easier just to tap into them. You can tap into them all equally. You can tap into one a little more than the other. It just depends on how you want it to look. It's trial and error. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to tap in Nutmeg, Sandy, Walnut, and we're just going to see what we need more of. So I'm going to do 2 and 2 and 2. 2 taps in each and see what that looks like. Okay, I'm going to stop there for a second. It looks a little warm to me, which means I have too much nutmeg. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go into that walnut a little more and cover it over. So now I know the next time I tap, do more walnut and more sandy, less nutmeg. And look at that. I mean, that's a pretty good match. My chest is super dark, and I don't typically like to match my chest to my face because I would have to go like a lot of shades darker than I actually am on my face to match that, so I don't match that. A lot of people do, and that's totally fine, but it's just not what I do. So go to the other side. We're doing the same thing. We're just matching, trying to match our skin tone. And I really like using walnut contour, mixing it with my other shades because our contours are a little more dense, which means they stick better on our skin. And I just really like having that shade in there because it just really helps your makeup stay on, which I like. Don't forget to bring it down your neck because you don't want a line there. I have to look in my mirror and it's behind you. Turn the light on real quick. Whoa. All right. I think that looks pretty good. And I only do just a little bit on my temple. Notice I did not go underneath my eyes here. We'll get to that later. And I don't put it on my forehead. I don't put this on my forehead at all. We're going to tackle my nose a little more because I'm really red on my nose. I'm just going to neutralize that a little bit. The walnut really does help neutralize redness too, because it's just a little bit gray. So I like that. And if you're not cool toned, you can do this if you don't have a perfect shade in our warmer tones. You can mix and match those too, the warm shades. You can do whatever you want because this makeup is awesome. So, okay, there's my color. This part of my neck never gets tan. I think I need to start laying out like this. It's like my face and from here down. I don't understand. But anyway, this is a really good mix. Looks really nice. Looks natural. And while I've got you here, I might as well put on the rest of my makeup. So, and show you how I do that. So I'm going to take my the brush that I used was the 3D brush, by the way. I love, love, love this brush. It's my favorite one. You can get medium to full coverage out of this, and it's just really, really good. So moving on, I'm going to switch to the detail brush. This one I recommend to everyone as their second brush because it is so good for contouring and using your brightener and getting into those little, like these little areas, this little area. It's wonderful. So if you don't have it, get it because it's really good. I'm going to mix my contours too because it's just what I'm going to do. I'm going to use Olive, which I really like this one because it is nice and cool, but I need the depth of Indigo. Now, if I were to use Indigo alone, it would pull really red on me because I am cooler toned. So I mix it with one of the cooler toned contours and it works fabulously. See, look at that. That's a good color. And I'm just going to leave that for a second. I'm going to go back in, Olive, back into Indigo. Same thing on this side. Just tap it on where I want it. And if you're curious about where your contour goes, you can see those little shadows on your face where I'm darker. That's where I put it. And I like to pop a little bit here sometimes too, because that makes your lips look bigger. And who doesn't want that, right? Okay, now I'm going to go in, same colors. I need to put them next to each other in my palette. But I'm going to pop that right here on my forehead. Same thing on the other side, and we're just going to blend that together and push it up into your hairline. Do not forget the hairline. Don't forget it. Okay. That's good. Now I'm going to go back in and we're going to blend that out. Don't forget to blend it out. Sometimes I have forgotten to do that and then it looks crazy, but it's good if you just put it on and let it sit for just a minute or so, because it really helps to soften the creams and they're so much easier to blend out, which they're super easy to blend out anyway, but it just helps. I feel like I'm darker on this side than I am on this side. Maybe it's just, I don't know. Okay, now I'm going to go into my bronzer. Now, Typically, I will recommend Bella Bronzer. Bella Bronzer is great for everyone. It is great for that sheer bronzy look. I like more coverage with my bronzer, so I wear Muse Highlight as my bronzer. And that's what I'm talking about. These products are super versatile. You can use them as eyeshadow. You can use them on your lips, on your, I mean, whatever you want to do with these, do it. You can do it. So here's my Muse. It's super dark, but it's not going to be super dark on my face. Put a little bit here, put a little bit on this side. I like to pop it on my cheeks and up my temples. And you could honestly stop there and not do a lip and cheek or a blush if you wanted. You could just leave it. But I'm going to put a blush on, obviously. Just blend that all together. You can put it here and run it down your neck. Just whatever you want to do. So, now that we have that done, I'm going to go in with, let me look at the back of this because I'm not sure what color it is. Okay, this is Aura. And this is going to be my brightener, but I'm only going to use my brightener right here in between my eyes because I prefer demi under my eyes, honestly, but maybe I should just stick to the basics here for the sake of my newbies. It's much easier. I'll just do that. Okay, go back to this detail brush. I'm going to take the small end. Before I apply my brightener on my eyes, I'm going to go into this balm. This is Demi Balm, but we have 3D has a balm now. It's the exact same thing. It's just in a bigger tin. Highly recommend, especially for summer if you want that glowy, I don't know, dewy look. It's amazing. But I always put it under my eyes before I do my under eyes because it helps, I don't know, it just helps them look less crepey, I guess. And if you have any dry skin on your face or anything like that, you can pop that on. And before you put your makeup on, it'll really help camouflage the texture. You can also use it as like an illuminator. It's just really versatile. You can use it on your lips, whatever you want to do. So now that I have that on, I'm going to go back into Aura and I'm going to use the smallest amount. This color right here, small end of the detail. Just a tiny little amount. I mean, I barely touched it. Do you see that? Tiniest amount. And we're just going to blend that by tapping down and up. And I'm not going to go directly under my eyes until I've got this nice and blended. I don't need any more. Don't tap in again, Sarah. Don't do it. It's a habit. Okay, and can you see how that just brightened, that tiny little bit just brightened my eyes so nicely. Just blend that in a little bit. All right, and then I'm going to take a tiny bit again, pop it right on my Cupid's bow, a little bit on the center of my chin. I'm going to switch back to that 3D brush here. We're tapping it out. And I'm just going to go around and tap and blend. That looks so nice. Okay, now for summer, you have to get Illuminator. You just have to because it's so good and it makes you look so glowy and pretty and bronzy, and I love that. So, Rose Gold. This is the one that I recommend to everyone because it's my favorite, but also because it looks good on everybody. So, for summer, if you're going to have a tan, get you some Rose Gold because it is so pretty. And I always put it across my Cupid's bow in that area. It's just so nice. Gives you a little shimmer. Put it on the top of my cheekbones. Into my nose. You can pop some here if you want. It just really, really adds to that, I don't know, beachy skin glowy vibe, I guess, for summer. Let's use some of our new colors. So every quarter we get new limited edition shades. And this quarter we have four shades. I only have three. I have not got Jolene yet. She's orange and I'm a little bit scared of her. But we're going to try, let's see, this is August. It's a cool rosy mauve, which I think is going to match my lips perfectly. I got Homecoming. Oh, these are glosses, by the way, these two. And Homecoming's a little more peachy, like a peachy pink. And then I got Melody, which is also very similar to Homecoming. I mean, this is a satin, I believe, and this one's a gloss, but they're basically the same thing, it looks like. Maybe this one's a shade, a little bit more pink, just a tiny bit. Let's try her. Let's try Melody. I'm going to go to a different brush, though. I'm going to use this brush. It's a demi brush, and I use it for blush all the time, and I have no idea what it's called. Sorry. We're going to go into Melody. And I'm going to pop this on the apples on my cheeks because I really feel like it's not even going to show up on my skin. I mean, it's pretty. I can hardly see it. Okay. First impression. If you are my shade or darker, you're not going to be able to see this as a blush. It does have shimmer in it. It's not gritty, but it's definitely there. I don't know if you can see it on here, but there is definite shimmer in it. Let's try August, since I've got these out. This one, the mauve-y looking one, is a gloss. Let me see if this shows up. Okay, yeah, I can see that. That's pretty. It's pretty. Oh yeah, I like that. That's a really pretty shade on tan skin for sure. Very pretty. Okay, I like that a lot. What should we do with our lips? I've not been lining my lips lately, but I think I'm going to today. If I can find my multitasker brush right here, this gal, she's got a sharp end, like a pointy end, and then this flat end. This is the end I always use to line, but you can use whatever end you want. Let's go in. I'm going to go into my contour, olive contour. It's a little cool, but I think I'm going to use August on my lips, so that'll be a good pair there. I really do not like lining my lips on camera. Okay, got those lines. Now, going into August. I'm using a tiny bit of this too. Okay. I like that. I like that color. That's a good nude. It's a nice nude. Okay. So then what I would do, I'm pretty well done. I would do my eyelashes, mascara obviously, but I really don't like putting mascara on camera, and you guys don't want to see me do that. So do that, and then I'm going to spray my face with my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. Now this is actually aimed at people with oily skin. I don't really have oily skin, but it works for me and I like it. It keeps my makeup on and it looks really, really nice. So I'm going to use that to set. And if you want, you can go back in and kind of tap everything out. Push it in. But that's it. That's how I mix my shades to get the perfect foundation color for my skin tone. Like I said, once I get past Sandy in the summer, it's a struggle because our line, unfortunately, does not have more or deeper, cooler tones. Once you hit Sandy, it's warm from there on out. So if you're like me and you're struggling, this is what you can do. Try walnut. It's awesome. Don't sleep on it because it's really, really good. So thank you for hanging out with me, and I will see you next time.